Washington Post columnist is slamming the comedian in an op-ed. Quote, Jon Stewart's rant is a reminder. Don't rely on celebrities for COVID-19 theories. And the former head of the CDC not backing away from his belief on where COVID came from.
I don't think it's plausible that this virus went from a bat to an animal we still don't know that animal, and then went into humans and immediately had learned how to be human-to-human transmissible to the point of now causing one of the greatest pandemics we've had in the history of the world.
So some say he might not have been telling the truth and he might have been joking. Greg, you've got a good handle on seriousness and comedy. Was he telling the truth? Or?
Yeah, I think the big revelation here is that Jon Stewart watches Fox News because this is exactly what we've been saying at this table for a while, and it makes sense he's now in our age group where the wisdom kicks in, or maybe his writer, because I think it was this show or the Gutfeld show when I said, when there's a firework explosion in a small town, you check the fireworks factory. And then his writer wrote something about if there's a chocolate explosion, you check the chocolate factory. So I think this was so shocking to Colbert and others is because they live in a bubble. And they haven't heard this opinion, whereas you've heard this opinion and other opinions here on Fox. In fact, we've talked about this plausible theory. We've done segments on it, but in places like The View, where the only information they get is from People magazine, they're like, oh my God, this is so amazing. It's just anybody that was shocked by this reveals the ignorance of the actual topic.
Dana, you know, White Houses have to be able to respond when bad things happen to try to make sure we're prepared. I'm assuming that China, unless they let us in, you have to assume the worst case.
I think you have to. I think that's right. I think you have to assume the worst. And China needs to know that we all assume the worst. And the left is confusing. So if this were called the Moscow virus, and it all started in Moscow, do you think that they would be reluctant to find out the root cause of how this virus got out there? And to Dr. Redfield's point, one of the big problems early on is that because China wasn't open about what was going on here, we were treating, the CDC was treating this as another SARS outbreak, which is you treat SARS in a different way than you treat coronaviruses. So a White House or an administration, if they don't have clear information, you're going to maybe treat the wrong problem. And that's possibly lost us some time and led to a lot of people losing their lives and their livelihoods. And so you just wonder, when is the left going to get mad?
Well, speaking of the left getting mad, Jesse, you have a...
What? Did I make them mad again? I think this is safe. This is funny. It's common sense, but it's safe. We've known for a year it likely came from a lab. Biden now says it's okay to talk about Fauci, and the Washington Post and CNN say this is okay to talk about. So then he cracks a joke about the lab, and the left says, ooh, bold. This is edgy. He went there. He didn't go there. The guy's retired. The only reason he makes a joke like this is because he doesn't work for the corporate media. When you work for the corporate media, you can't cut against the narrative. The narrative was this can't come from a lab because they have so much money over there invested in Beijing. Time Warner, AT&T, Comcast, they're not going to send a team of investigators over to the Wuhan lab and start poking around. There's too much at stake. Chinese will just take away their license and their deals and their contracts, and it's over. So you can't even say something that's obvious if that it goes against the profit margins. Look, they did it with Smollett. Smollett, the type of guy at midnight and below freezing going to go out for a Subway sandwich.
You would.
You say that, they call you a racist, remember? Or what about Kavanaugh? It doesn't really strike me as a gang rapist. Oh, no, you can't say that. That's sexist. And now, do the Chinese, are they really giving Hunter Biden a diamond because they're best friends? No, it's a bribe. But if you say something the corporate media doesn't like because it interferes with their bottom line, they'll excommunicate you. He doesn't have to deal with that anymore because he's retired and he works on a farm now.
Does he?
Yeah, he has a little farm.
Oh, no wonder the beard.
Yes, he's in character.
How should the business community, what should they be urging President Biden to do with China?
Oh, they're in the bag with the Communist Party of China. If any company wants to do business in China, they're carrying water for Xi Jinping at all. And that's what's so disgusting. And you've seen it with complete reticence to call out, human rights abuses in China. So, Greg, I have to apologize to you. I think I stole that line from you, too. I didn't know it, and I feel like a heel.
We both did it. We shared that. We shared the same thought.
I like that. But I want to take my take on this is that this is Jon Stewart beginning to reclaim comedy in a way that because it's been held hostage by thin-skinned liberals.
I hope you're right.
And so you cannot write jokes that land around the micro-sensitivities of a bunch of left-wing nuts. So he goes on Colbert, knowing that Colbert, he made that guy's career, although it seems to be, spiraling downward, a toilet bowl, given the, lack of laughs on that late-night show. But there is nothing funnier than a comic ridiculing, knocking the stuffing out of a sour, arrogant, self-important blowhard. Joan Rivers did it, Don Rickles did it, and there is no bigger, sour, self-important, arrogant blowhard than Stephen Colbert, and Jon Stewart did it right in front of him. He basically threw it in his face, and I ate it up. But I won't be watching that show. Watch Greg Gutfeld every night, though.
There you go. It's going to be great tonight.
I didn't even know there were other guys on it.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.